running for Congress in New York. Our CNN's Mary Snow joins us now and tells us who this Chris Cox guy is.
Hi, Suzanne. Well, he is the grandson of Richard Nixon, and he's putting his family name to the test in a New York district where a Democratic incumbent faces re-election.
I'm running for Congress.
Chris Cox doesn't use his middle name when he introduces himself to voters, but it's the name that sparks the most interest.
And your grandfather was?
Yes, was President Nixon.
That's
All right, thank you.
31-year-old Christopher Nixon Cox is son of Tricia Nixon and grandson of the 37th president. He was born 5 years after his grandfather resigned in disgrace following the Watergate scandal.
Au revoir. We'll see you again.
Cox says while his grandfather didn't really discuss the scandal, he doesn't see his family's controversial political past hurting him.
Some of the stuff that you learn from that is that you can come back from anything. And I think one of the great things about my grandfather was he did write 9 books after his presidency. His advice on foreign affairs was sought after by presidents from Ronald Reagan to George Bush to Bill Clinton. And I think that shows that he still had a lot to offer the world and made the most of that. How are you? Very nice to meet you.
This is Cox's first political race. He faces a crowded Republican primary field with the stiffest competition.
If you win Brookhaven, and you do very solid everywhere else, then you can win the election.
Coming from self-made millionaire Randy Altshuler, who is also running on the conservative ticket. While he didn't take any direct swings at his challenger, he is playing up his very different family history.
I had to work my way through college. I was a short order cook and a security guard. And everything I've achieved on my own. And that's because this country gives you that opportunity.
Cox is looking past the primary, setting his sights on Democratic incumbent Congressman Tim Bishop, who served 4 terms, trying to paint him as a liberal tied to Nancy Pelosi.
I want to be the congressman that represents Suffolk County values, not liberal San Francisco values.
But Bishop fires back, trying to paint Cox as a Manhattan elitist, saying he only recently moved to the Tony Hamptons full-time so he could run for Congress. The Nixons have had a summer home there for decades.
He is a person that has vacationed in the 1st Congressional District, but I think people are going to learn that the 1st Congressional District is more than a place you come to on weekends to play golf or to play tennis.
Some political observers see Cox's family roots potentially helping him in the Republican primary, but possibly hurting him in a general election against a Democrat.
I should point out Cox's father is the chairman of the state Republican Party. Suzanne? All right, Mary, thank you so much. I'm Suzanne Melvo here in the Situation Room. More news coming up on